Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley Munson, and I'm your host for Munson Tonight. Let's clap for that. I am super excited to be here this evening and so glad that you guys made time out your schedules to be here. So now, the goal of Munson Tonight is to make politics make sense and to civically engage the culture along the way. Now, I'll start with sharing my news by way of staff meetings. And here's the manager of my staff meetings, Sugarfoot Justin James. Y'all clap. Clap for Justin.
I'm so excited for you, Ashley. So excited. Can we just say how excited we are that this is a momentous occasion for you? So excited about everything that we're going to learn through politics and making it make sense.
I appreciate that. Justin is also the chief of staff of my staff meetings because I be having a lot going on up here.
A lot.
But we ain't got to talk about it. But to define staff meetings is a term I took from a friend where your spiritual, your emotional, and your logical self come together and make decisions in your head. Now, a psychologist may call that multiple personality disorder, but for my sake today, we're just going to call it staff meetings. By the way, here's a disclaimer. If you don't like my jokes, I did not write them. ChatGPT did. So just wanted to note that. Speaking of ChatGPT, Drake came under fire for using an AI-generated version of Tupac's voice in a diss track directed at Kendrick Lamar. There he is, guys. That's Tupac. Tupac himself responded from a remote island, threatening legal action and that he was deeply disappointed that his voice was used without permission. I'm sorry, his estate was deeply disappointed? Sure, Tupac, sure. Y'all, I think he's still alive. I think that picture definitely shows that he's still alive. Nevertheless, the song was then quickly taken down from streaming platforms, which made me sad because I was hoping for a Tupac and Sexy Red collab this summer. Get it, Tupac. Get it, Tupac. I say all of that to say that the culture has been culturing. Of course, yesterday was Juneteenth. Let's clap it up for that. This holiday commemorates June 19th, 1865, when 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to inform the remaining 250,000 enslaved black people that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abraham Lincoln, granting them freedom. Now, this is not to be confused with the time that 2,000 troops arrived in Washington, D.C. to inform Congress that a white man cosplaying a wilted orange was the real president, or better known as January 6th. Trump was also a good answer too. Great answer too. Or its super informal name, Cracker Christmas.
Cracker ass cracker.
Was that Chris Rock?
It's Chris Rock.
That was Chris Rock.
Okay.
Cracker Christmas. What a time. This Juneteenth, we have a soundtrack to play for it. Yep, Beyonce released her acclaimed Cowboy Carter. Let's clap it up for that. It was released in March and just in time for barbecue season. Personally, one of my favorite tracks is This Ain't Texas. One of my favorites. Thanks, nephew. Unfortunately, it made me think of all the things that ain't Texas, like women's rights, black history, freedom, and common sense. I think that's the case. And on the flip side, I can think of three things that are very much legal in Texas, and for all the wrong reasons. Those are beach blondes, bad builds, and butch bodies. Y'all really thought we was gonna get throughout a taping without me talking about that? Nope, I know you lying. We gotta talk about it. Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas gave us the comeback of the year, and now she's working on trademarking it. Listen, y'all. Listen, Jasmine, get your money, honey. I am not mad. Because if you don't, Shein will have that phrase on a shirt by next week. Now we should talk about, we haven't seen white supremacy beat back that badly since, well, last summer, when a hat went in the air and the white chair entered the chat. Now, I'm not sure that's what Sam Cooke meant when he said a change is gonna come, but it happened. Representative Crockett's comment was spurred after Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene made reference to her eyelashes, the type of eyelashes that Rep. Crockett had on. Michelle Obama once said, when they go low, we go high. And Rep. Crockett replied with, want to see a dead body? Crazy time we're living in. Now let's get to the beachiest blonde, baddest built, butchiest body of them all, Donald Trump. It's giving BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy, it's definitely giving something. The presumptive Republican presidential nominee and now convicted felon was found guilty on all 34 counts of paying $130,000 in hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels days before the 2016 election. Though Trump said he would not touch Daniels with a 10-foot pole, the jury found out that the pole was only 3 inches. During the trial, Stormy Daniels even testified under oath that Donald Trump did not wear a condom when the two allegedly had sex in 2006. Talk about oral arguments. Now, this is all bizarre for several reasons, but most concerning is like, who would lay down with Trump? Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't even think Melania has, and she's an actual former porn star. Maybe Amber Rose might be into it? Too far? Okay, sorry. But I do think in all seriousness, we have to take a moment to acknowledge that we now have a convicted felon running for the highest office in the country, which means that Rod Blagojevich still has a chance. Love you, Rod, if you're watching. What's crazy is that Trump still has 3 more criminal cases, y'all, and this New York case was the weakest of the 4. Now, the fact that Trump and Diddy may actually end up in a cell together, talk about bad boy records. We got some humor here tonight, folks. Now, we all know, if you've been following, we all know that this has been costly for Trump, to the point that Trump has turned to Jesus, ? Well, kind of. Trump started selling Bibles for the low price of $59.99. But wait, there's more. Trump's God Bless America Bibles even include a picture of Republicans storming the Capitol in the Bible where Jesus flipped over tables. Now, as a Christian, this really does make me question, did Jesus really die for everybody? Speaking of Jesus, this brings me to President Joe Biden, who is being resurrected. I'm sorry. He is trying to be reelected for a second term. Justin, I'm sorry.
You wrote that one?
I did. I wrote that joke.
Okay. That was good.
I wrote that joke. President Joe Biden and Donald Trump will debate next week for the first time in this election cycle to vie for Americans' votes across the country. You know, black people, well, Americans in this case, I think as a country, we need a break. I think sometimes after a toxic relationship, you just need to focus on you. So I think we should take a gap year for having a president. What y'all think? Y'all think so? I think we should. Or we should have Stevie Wonder be president because at least he... Can I get the joke out first? I think we should have Stevie Wonder as our president because at least he can spot out our blind spots as a country. It's a video of him blowing a kiss at Lady Gaga yeah. How did Stevie see that? Can Stevie see for all these years? That's crazy. In local news, Mayor Brandon Johnson has reached his first year of being in office. That's something to clap for. Now, hopefully he doesn't run away from supporters in his second year. I mean, run for us.
Mr. Mayor, why do you have to run from us?
Mayor,
why do you have to run from us,
last
Mr.
night
Mayor?
in relation to Officer Weska.
Mr. Mayor, why would you run from us?
I'm sorry, Mayor. If you want to run here to the show, we'll be definitely glad to have a conversation with you. Now, to be fair, the mayor has been dealing with a lot, from CTA issues to the migrant crisis to having a payment plan for his water bills. You know, things can get slippery. It's Vontae here at the front for me. Now, since we've been talking about having a gap year for presidency, maybe we should have a gap year for mayor. I think we need a break from having a mayor too. Or we should let Toni Preckwinkle be mayor, because I've never seen that lady without a blue suit. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Google her. Google her. You see, every different shade of blue is up there. I'm not mad at her. In other local news, the Democratic National Convention is coming to Chicago in August for the first time since 1996. We should be proud, Chicago. We outbeat Atlanta and New York City for the 2024 bid. Represent Chicago. The Democratic National Convention is responsible for articulating and promoting the Democratic platform and coordinating party organizational activities. In layman's terms, we can summarize what will happen at the DNC with Joe Biden saying, "I am President Joe Biden, and I am hopefully awake for this message." I try acting that in the mirror at home. For the DNC, you can expect a wealth of protests, namely regarding the conflict between Israel and Palestine, local leaders, including Mayor Johnson, which he has at least verbally committed that there will be no violence that ensues at this convention, because in 1968, there was an incident where all chaos broke out. But as Chicagoans, we simply have to wait and see what will happen at the DNC and follow Chicago news throughout the season. I'm sure the Kia boys are waiting to see how many government cars they can steal too. I am so excited for tonight's show. We have a great show ahead with special guests, a former mayor of Chicago with a huge announcement, and Representative Marcus Evans. Are you guys ready for the show? Yeah. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Chicago, are you ready to be a part of history? The Democratic National Convention is coming to town this summer from August 19th to the 22nd, and we need your help. Whether you're 16 or 60, we have a role for you. From greeting delegates and assisting with wayfinding to working inside of the United Center, we need you to make this a world-class event. Help show up for Chicago by signing up today at chicago2024.com/volunteer and be a part of something extraordinary.
Welcome back to Munson Tonight. We are super excited that you guys are here. Clap for yourselves. For those who have been following the show, you know that we have a band. Band, what's up, guys? And throughout my live shows, we've been going over names for the band. And now we finally have the name for the band. Yes. You guys ready for it?
Yes.
The No Name Band. Yeah, that works? That works? That's good. Money. Okay, so the goal is throughout the season is to create a name for the band. So if you guys have names, feel free to submit them. We're super excited to see your suggestions. Our first guest for the show is no stranger to the show. We're super excited for her to be here. We've had a working relationship throughout the years, and we're just super excited to hear from her this evening. Please welcome former Mayor Lori with the Y.
Yeah.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot. So good to see you.
Yeah. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. I'm very happy.
We're super happy to have you. You know, we were talking backstage, and you've been here for almost every show.
Yeah, you know, it's very happy to grow with you. I think I'm the reason. Yeah, it's no coincidence, but great job, good.
I like the emphasis on good. And now we're on TV, so you'll reach millions of viewers, you know?
Ayo.
Speaking of coming back, you were at Harvard, and I know we talked about it a little bit last time, but are you still teaching at Harvard? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I've taken a break for now. I was molding the young minds of America. The course that I taught was how to navigate a city during a crisis. So yeah, they chose me to teach that. I was a great candidate for it.
Yeah.
Not that
Because
any
the way
of
you
care.
handled Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You remember. Yeah.
It was so great. It's so great. And now you're back with a huge announcement. You want to give the announcement? Or?
Yeah, I'm not going to bear the lead. I'm running for president, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Get into it. I need each and every one of you.
We're super excited that you're running for president. What
Me
made
too.
you come to that decision?
I mean, come on. I think it's time for some fresh leadership, a different perspective, someone a little younger, someone a little blacker, someone a little gayer, all of the above. Yeah, but more importantly, someone with the leadership experience. I'm pretty sure if I knocked on every Chicagoan's door, they'd say I did an amazing job and that I deserve to be president of the United States.
I still have the salt packets you passed out when it was winter that time.
Yeah, I'm very happy of our salt packet program. When it snows a bit too much, each citizen is equipped with salt packets from restaurants. So I don't know if you know, but there's a surplus of kind of things that came over from the pandemic. We kind of switched up the way that restaurants are servicing our community. So anytime you have those extra forks and napkins, you take the salt packet out, you donate it to the salt packet program, and then to salt your driveway, you go to the salt packet distribution center. Yeah.
That's a great segue into our next part. Last time you were here, we played If I Were Your Mayor.
Okay.
And because you're running for president, I thought it would be fitting for us to play If I Was President.
Okay, yeah, prepare me for the debate floor.
Okay, first question. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You okay, Mayor?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
If you were president,
Yeah.
what would you do about inflation?
Okay. I tell them to stop. I sit all the big boys down and I say, hey, stop. I would say, hey, sit down and imagine if this goes on for another 100 years. Will eggs be $49.99? At the rate that we're going, yes. There has to be a cap. The system was put in place with no cap. So, no cap, I will take care of capitalism. Yeah.
That, I've had to stop cooking omelets for a while, so, I understand.
I'm bringing omelets back into every home.
That's so powerful. That's
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah.
Second question, what would you do about immigration if you were president?
Okay, if I were president, what I would do is I would go back to the beginning of the origins of this country, and I would kind of switch the status of people who think that they're American citizens that are actually immigrants. And then we'll see who the real immigrants are. Yeah, I knew I would convert each and every one of you.
That's so great. Last question. What would you do about safety across the country and including Chicago?
Oh, that's easy. I would have my boys in every home. Who is that? The Chicago police. I would have a policeman in every home, but when I think about the country, that's going to take away from the Chicago resources. So what I would do is instead of calling 911 or emergency services, call me first.
All
route
the residents call you?
Yeah, I'll route your call to where it's supposed to be. It'll be an automated system. It'll be complicated.
AI.
Yeah, I'll use
Got
AI.
it.
You'll call me. You'll say, Lori, help. I'll say, what's your emergency? And you'll say, emergency situation. You'll say that, and I'll route you to where it goes. Because sometimes 911 is overworked. You don't have to always call 911. You can call 311 for certain services. Yeah, that was true.
So they'll call 911 to get your automatic.
No.
They'll call 311.
They'll just say, it's like Alexa.
Hey, Lori.
Yeah, they'll say, Lori, help.
2 Loris to help.
Yeah, Lori, help. Yep. That activates it, so we'll put this in every home across America.
Got it. That sounds like a really good, innovative program. Well, we're super excited that you could be here this evening. We know you have a show coming up on August 18th at the Laugh Factory. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm having Unpolitical Women Reunion Comedy Show at the Laugh Factory. It's the official, unofficial, really not official comedy show of the Democratic National Convention. And so it'll be the Sunday before the festivities for the DNC kick off. Everyone here, we're working out where everyone that's here gets tickets if we have that system available. So I'll make sure everybody's here because I'm going to need your help.
We'll be right back after this.
Yeah, thank you. It's been very great. This is when they just talk at the desk after the thing is, so should I just go? All right, vote for me, everybody. Yeah. All right. All right.
Hi, I'm Bianca Cotton. Join me Mondays at 7 p.m. for Behind the Confident Smile as I sit in conversation with incredible, dynamic, and complex Chicagoans who peel back the layers, living lessons, the joy, and the pain behind their confident smiles. You can watch on TV19, cantv.org, and CanTV Plus app.
Shout out to the No Name Band, y'all. I think we got a winner with that, but I still want to think into it, dream into it, if you will, you know. Thank you guys for being here again. Our next guest is State Representative of Chicago's 33rd District and a personal friend. Can we please welcome Representative Marcus Evans?
What's up, baby?
How are you? Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. It's my first time on the couch.
You know, hopefully it's not your last. So excited to have you. Well, I just want to say thank you for being here, for one.
Oh, my pleasure.
And then two, I was going to ask you, do you remember how we met?
Ooh, I'm trying, man, it was so many years ago.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Almost 10 years ago. Yeah. So I worked for the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Mike Madigan, and I did a fellowship there. And Representative Evans was one of my first members.
Oh, yeah.
I had 5 members, and he was one of the first. And since then, you've always been so supportive, and I'm super grateful that we've maintained this friendship, and you have always been there to support me and advocate for me. So I'm appreciative of you.
My pleasure. I'm part of your village. You're part of mine. You know?
Oh, wow. I love that. Yeah. I love that. So a part of Munson Tonight is to help politics make sense, right? To break it down for folks that may not be privy to what's happening or understand it completely. So let's start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
What is a state representative?
So a state rep, you think about it, you know, you got the governor, everybody understands that state government is important, right? Because state government created federal government. Right. So state government to me is the most important government. You got the governor, and then you got the House of Representatives, which I serve in. I'm state rep, 118 of us. And you got the Senate, and we work with the governor to make the laws. And most people, I tell them it's 2 things. We make the laws and we spend tax money. Those are the things you need to know. Make the laws and spend the money, and we help the governor do that.
So you spend our money?
We use fancy words like
semantics.
Appropriate.
Okay, semantics.
But yeah, we appropriate the money.
That's a good cleanup right there, good cleanup. So now that we know what a state rep is, let's talk about your district and some of the issues that you've been working on in the past.
Well, it's the South Side. You know, I'm all South Side. I mean, the best representative you're gonna have today is from the South Side. It's me, because the South Side is the best. And I love my community. I mean, I've always been on the South Side. I grew up in a West Pullman community. My family lives in the housing projects in Bronzeville, you know, before we, you know, got a house at my grandma's house. And I live in Avalon Park, so I love the South Side. And I'm just blessed to represent it. I mean, I love the southeast side of the community, right off Stony Island. I live in Avalon Park. And just fighting for the South Side, and you name it. The state government supports local government and county government. So being on the state level and fighting for my community, it just warms my heart, you know.
We're grateful for all that you do. You mentioned the South Side. So you have the South Side and the South suburbs. Let's talk about some of those communities you serve.
Oh, yeah, Burnham. So when you leave Chicago, you're in Burnham, Calumet City, Lansing, Linwood. So I got a portion of 4 towns, and then the Southeast Side. So like, you know, our Latino community, the original Latino community of Chicago is the East Side. So I represent a portion of the East Side. I represent, you think about a little bit of Chatham, South Shore, Avalon Park, where I live, Calumet Heights community. Hegewisch is the last community when you leave in Chicago. So having a portion of all those communities, it ties me into really the history of Chicago and just the greatness of our community.
That's important. So talking about legislative session,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, legislative session is when they all drive down to Springfield.
3 hours.
3 hours to Springfield. You know, I've done that drive many of times
Yeah,
and
yeah.
still not used to it. But going down to Springfield to pass bills for our state. And legislative session is usually January through May.
Yeah.
So it just ended.
We just
Y'all are
passed it.
finished. You just passed the budget.
We just passed we passed state budget.
So what's next? What's going on? I know you got money allocated in that budget to go to migrants and some different issues.
Yeah.
What should viewers know and what should we know about that budget that just passed?
Well, the state budget is about $80 billion, right? And when you think about it, it supports local government. So Burnham get a little bit of that money, Chicago gets some of that money. Every entity throughout the state is getting some of the money. And the key is, what do you care about? Ensuring that they're getting some state resources is important. And then ensuring that we pass the state budget is important. When Governor Rauner was there, he didn't want to pass the state budget, so he would freeze up all that money to cause issues for Chicago and our communities like ours. But we always must pass the state budget, because remember, it's the most important level of government. In my opinion, it's truly the backbone of everything that we do. Human services, the hospitals, the schools. So you must pass the state budget. It's so important. But we got to put stuff in there that's good for our community. And that's the job of people like me to say, hey, make sure some of that money is flowing to the right places.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball here.
Oh, please.
What's in it for black people?
See, that's an interesting question, because what I love about being black is that black people care about all types of people.
For sure.
And that's the thing, like the most caring people that I've come across has been black people. I live in a black community. I love black people, and I love being black. And everywhere I go, we care. So you think about the civil rights, that wasn't just about black people. So many communities benefit. Everything black people do, others benefit from it. So the key is to make sure that we benefit, and the state budget did that. When you talk about human services, to make sure that people that go to the county hospital that look like me have support. We talk about our schools, our mayors trying to get more money to CPS. I want more money for education. Education is expensive. Okay?
Yes.
So we need the state to put more money in education, to send them to schools with people that look like me. I want to support places like Chicago State University. That's where I went to school at. Where do black people go? We go to Chicago State, we go to Northern, we go to Southern. I want those directional schools to get support. So I fight for the state budget strategically to make sure the things are going on with our support. Those human service organizations and social service, nonviolent organizations all throughout our communities, are they getting resources? They're going to make sure they do, because that's my job.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it takes work.
Good stuff. And I really love how you made that last comment about black folks are not a monolith. We care about multiple things, and we are a group of people that care about our community. And I love the fact that black folks are so diverse that we work with our brown sisters, we work with our Caucasian brothers and sisters to make sure that we get what we need. So I love that. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
The No Name Band, everybody. Guys, at the end of every show, we'll do Munson Knows, where I'll repeat something I know. This week I don't know anything, but I'm super glad that you guys are here. I definitely have to shout out a few particular people. One is Justin, my chief of staff. We have the No Name Band. And to all the guests, Lisa Beasley, AKA Lori with the Y, also Representative Marcus Evans. Can we clap for them? And also CAN TV Studios and all the support staff that have made this possible. And yourselves. Thank you guys for being here and supporting Munson Tonight. And we'll see you next time.